The World Health Organization warns the pandemic is accelerating. But as the national medical experts call to expand extreme social distancing, President Trump signals he is ready for the country to get back to business.
We cannot let the cure be worse than the problem itself.
This as the death toll in the U.S. now tops 550 people. New York now the epicenter of the nation's outbreak. The governor here calling for hospitals to increase capacity.
You're going to see the number of infections, the number of cases increase dramatically.
The massive convention center transformed into a makeshift hospital. 1,000 beds brought in to handle the overflow. That Navy ship bringing help to hard-hit Los Angeles, while more governors bring their states to a standstill. Now younger Americans stricken with the illness, warning their generation to take it seriously.
It can get really real really fast.
And the race to get those critical supplies to healthcare workers on the front lines. FEMA Administrator Peter Gaynor joining us live.
Stimulus stalemate. Negotiations continue on that nearly $2 trillion economic rescue package. Both sides now say a deal is close. Markets rising on hope, but will it be enough?
Senator and former presidential candidate Amy Klobuchar revealed her husband is fighting the coronavirus in the hospital and on oxygen. She joins us live with the latest on his condition.
Overseas, Britain on lockdown. A glimmer of hope in devastated Italy. And our reporter on the ground in South Korea, showing us what they did there to flatten the curve without locking down the country. What could it mean for the United States?
New warning from the FBI. Coronavirus scam artists offering fake tests. Authorities warning that potentially thousands could be targeted.
And bringing people together. Garth Brooks and Trisha Yearwood, the country music power couple, taking requests, live streaming an uplifting concert from their home. More than 3 million tuning in.
The hour I first
and the amazing moment that brought tears to Garth's eyes.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
Amazing Grace gets you every time, especially the way Trisha was singing it. It was good to see Trisha and Garth bringing people together like they did last night.
And Americans are coming together however they can to support our healthcare workers on the front lines. Take a look at these volunteers on Long Island gathering donations of much needed medical supplies. So many out there trying to do their small part to help out with
every bit does help. And take a look at this testing site in New Jersey right now. They're expecting long lines again today, and as the governor said, the cases are going to increase as there is more testing. Here's what we know right now. The number of cases worldwide has grown to more than 380,000, and the number of confirmed cases in the United States tops more than 45,000. And also here, as the president is straining against that right now, saying we must open up our country again, adding that he's not looking at months. The list of states with orders telling people to stay home or for non-essential businesses to close keeps growing this morning. At least 21 states now have such restrictions. Massachusetts, Michigan, New Mexico, and West Virginia are closing non-essential businesses today. Indiana, Virginia, and Washington State closing them tomorrow. And Florida's governor has ordered anyone entering the state from areas with significant community spread, that means New York and New Jersey, must isolate for 14 days.
Not sure how they're going to go about to do that. FEMA Administrator Peter Gaynor is standing by to talk to us live. This as New York City's mayor calling the city the epicenter of the spread in the U.S. Now more than 12,000 confirmed cases, 35% of all cases in the country. And that is where we begin our coverage. Tom Yamas is at the Javits Center here in Manhattan, the convention center turned makeshift hospital. Good morning, Tom.
Robin, good morning to you. New York elected leaders are wasting no time. Serious work on the Javits Center should start later today. And even as new hot zones are popping up all over the country, including in Louisiana, there's a debate right now at the White House on whether to ease some of the restrictions in place to stop the chokehold on the economy.
This morning, despite growing warnings the coronavirus could spread for months, President Trump signaling he wants America back in business.
We cannot let the cure be worse than the problem itself.
Next week, the White House set to re-examine social distancing, possibly easing restrictions that could allow some businesses to reopen. The president acknowledging this is contrary to what healthcare professionals are advising, but defends his thinking, saying the mortality rate right now in the U.S. is 1%.
If it were up to the doctors, they may say, let's keep it shut down. Let's shut down the entire world.
The virus has killed more than 550 people in America, and the World Health Organization now declaring the pandemic is accelerating.
More than 300,000 cases of COVID-19 have now been reported to WHO from almost every country.
In the New York City area, 1 in every 1,000 people now have COVID-19, 5 times the rate in other parts of the country. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo calling on all hospitals to increase their capacity by 50%.
You're going to see the number of infections, the number of cases increase dramatically.
On Monday, FEMA workers began overhauling the city's Javits Center into a makeshift hospital, 1,000 beds being set up to handle some of the overflow of city patients. Cuomo also announcing the state is beginning trials today for a drug combination, the anti-malaria drug hydroxychloroquine and Zithromax, also known as a Z-Pack, and asking the FDA for testing approval for an antibody treatment.
It's only a trial. It's a trial for people who are in serious condition.
But New York's surge in cases alarming other states. The governor of Florida issuing an executive order citing travelers flying in from New York or New Jersey to do a mandatory self-isolation for 14 days. Violators will be put in jail for 60 days and fined $500.
And hopefully that will be a deterrent for people if you're just simply trying to escape here to avoid the restrictions that have been put in place in your own state.
On the West Coast, the Navy hospital ship the Mercy leaving San Diego, bound for Los Angeles, set to arrive Thursday morning. The ship will ease the burden on local hospitals. A staff of more than 1,000 medical personnel will be treating non-coronavirus infected patients.
Enthusiasm is very high for this mission. This is exactly what Navy medicine trains to do, and we are ready to execute.
And across the country, a call to healthcare workers, even those retired or those who have changed careers, to jump in and help aid in the crisis.
I'm the wrong demographic. I'm in my 60s, but I have a set of skills that are needed, that are important, and that are going to be in very short supply in a very short period of time.
The virus, initially thought to put the elderly most at risk, now hitting younger Americans. Nationwide, nearly half of those flooding ICUs are 20 to 64. 36-year-old Lara Wolfson contracted the virus after attending a conference in Boston. Bedridden for 8 days, she's now fully recovered and sharing her experience on Facebook.
You don't need to be feeling sick to have this, and I guess that's my big point to drive home.
In an essay for the New York Times, 26-year-old writer Fiona Lowenstein, who tested positive and was hospitalized for 2 days, urging her generation to take this seriously.
I also just wanted to put a call out to people my age that, listen, if you can't do this for your parents and your grandparents or your, sibling who's autoimmune compromised, please do it for yourself, because it can get really, really real really fast.
We also want to mention the situation right now in Louisiana. The newspapers down there, The Advocate and the Times-Picayune, are reporting right now in New Orleans they have one of the highest infection rates in the world. If you're asking yourself why, it's because of the timing. According to experts, it's all in the timing. COVID-19 gets to America, then Mardi Gras happens, and then there's the widespread panic here in the U.S. Right now, local leaders are sounding the alarm, George.
Okay, Tom, thanks very much. We're going to move on to Washington now, where negotiators continue to hammer out a nearly $2 trillion rescue package for the economy, all but shut down by this coronavirus emergency. Our senior national correspondent, Terry Moran, tracking the latest. And Terry, we see markets rising overnight on a belief that the deal's close.
That's right, George. Good morning. It does look like a deal is close. Dramatic developments late into the night. Just before midnight, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer emerged to say that deal is just about there. This $2 trillion package to rescue the economy in free fall. This main sticking point, a $500 billion bailout fund for U.S. corporations. Democrats called it a slush fund for Wall Street. They were demanding more transparency about where all that money will go. In the end, it looks like Mnuchin agreed to quote, strict oversight. Democrats also wanted more money for hospitals. They got it, a lot more. Chuck Schumer predicting a vote tonight. It looks like this deal is just about there.
And Terry, we were all watching the president yesterday. This tension between the healthcare officials who are calling for extended shutdowns and the president's concern over what's going to happen to the economy, very, very real right now. And getting this balance right is going to be critical.
Oh, that is the main question before President Trump and leaders of every country in the world. It is a choice, a horrible choice, striking the balance between saving as many lives as possible and saving as much of the economy as possible. The problem for America is, in order to open up, and the president says he wants to do it in weeks, not months, you need near universal testing. We're nowhere near that, and the virus is upon us.
And it is accelerating. Terry Moran, thanks very much. We're joined now by the head of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, Peter Gaynor. And Mr. Gaynor, thank you for joining us this morning. I want to talk about, start out with this immediate need for protective equipment for healthcare workers, especially those critical N95 masks. The president said yesterday that FEMA is distributing 8 million masks. Can you confirm that you have 8 million masks on hand? Where and when will they be delivered?
Well, we have much more than the 8 million. Every day we find new sources of masks, so whether they're in federal stockpiles, foreign ports, or donations, we have every day continued to build up our supply of N95 masks, surgical masks, and get those to where they're most in need. So that happens every minute of every day.
As you know, New York is the epicenter here in the United States right now. The president put out a tweet this morning saying the world market for face masks and ventilators is crazy. And Governor Cuomo is warning here that they just don't have enough supplies to get through the week. It's going to run out at the end of the week. And he's calling on the president to actually use the Defense Production Act, because the governors of different states are competing for these supplies. Is the president prepared to do that? If not, why not?
So first of all, we are focused on the hot spots. New York City, absolutely. Washington State, California, L.A. We are absolutely ready to use the Defense Production Act. We just want to be careful that we don't do anything to put it out of balance and counter some other positive efforts that we see. So we will use it. I have no doubt about it. But right now, we're focused on getting those critical items to those states most in need. And what I say to all governors out there, if you find a source, go buy it. FEMA will reimburse you.
But they're saying that's the problem. They're out looking for a source and they're competing with each other. They're bidding the prices up. They're saying do it now.
Right. We hear that. And again, we're ready to take action on all of that. Again, we're trying to keep the system in balance. We don't want the federal government scooping up everything. We want to make sure that there's enough capacity that governors and mayors around the country can order on their own. So it's a delicate balance. I have the top professionals here in my building making sure it all happens.
It sounds like we're talking past each other right now, Mr. Gaynor. I mean, what the governors are saying is that the federal government should scoop it up and then distribute it to the states, that by forcing them to compete with each other, it's driving up the price and hurting their ability to get what they need.
Again, we're trying to identify sources around the globe. If it's in China, we're ready to fly it back to the United States today. Again, we're focused on making sure that those governors that are most critical in need, no matter where it comes from, whether it comes from the federal government or from another source directly, we are enabling that today.
You've already declared major disaster areas in New York, California, Washington, as you said. We just heard Tom Yamas report down in Louisiana. They say the infection is accelerating there, had similar warnings out of Florida. Do you expect to be declaring more disaster areas in more states?
Absolutely. We have requests from a couple different states. So we talked to Governor Edwards yesterday out of Louisiana. The Vice President and I held a phone call with all the governors, and they're absolutely on our list. And we want to make sure that, we care about fulfilling every governor's request, and it's a matter of priorities. And so that is our focus every day.
Mr. Gaynor, thanks for your work. Thanks for your time this morning.
You're welcome.
Michael?
All right, George, the World Health Organization saying the worldwide spread of coronavirus is accelerating. Take a look at this. It took from January 21st to March 6th to get to 100,000 cases. Then it took just 11 days to get to 200,000 cases and only 4 more days to reach 300,000. Well, let's go to our experts. Our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Jennifer Ashton, joined us from her home. And from Washington, Tom Bossert, ABC News contributor and former White House Homeland Security advisor. And Doc, I want to start with you. We pointed out that you were at home. You're on official self-quarantine. So how is that going so far?
You know, I was working from home, but yesterday was notified that I had close contact, meaning within 6 feet, with someone who had tested positive. So I'm officially on self-quarantine until a 14-day period, meaning no one comes in my apartment, no one goes out, but I feel fine.
Well, that's good news to hear. And Tom, I want to start with you. I want to ask you a question here. President Trump saying he wants to reopen the country. Now, he's talking about weeks, not months. So everyone is wondering, how is that realistic?
Yeah, Michael, so I think everybody shares his frustration and his hope, but what he needs to do is avoid second waves and reinfections. You know, at this stage, we've paid a very heavy cost in our economy and in our lives. To lose the benefit of it at this point by not sticking to our guns would be a really devastating decision. Now, can we do it? That requires testing. It requires a more aggressive isolation, and not in people's homes, but somewhere where they can be controlled. And it requires quarantining the people they've come into contact with, like Dr. Jen is demonstrating by example.
And Jen, you know, today New York State will begin giving experimental treatments to the most ill patients. And what is that treatment, and how might that work?
So it is exciting, Michael. They're starting here in New York. They're going to do a trial that takes about a week and hopes to enroll about 300 patients. This is looking at that combination of hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin. Very small studies out of France show there may be some promise there. But here's the flip side, Michael. When we hear about a possibly encouraging treatment like this, we have to look at it holistically. And the holistic view on this is that hydroxychloroquine is also a medication that is taken by people who have rheumatoid arthritis and lupus. And now, because of all the excitement about this drug, which has yet to be proven in clinical trials, there is a big-time national shortage, and people who need that drug for their autoimmune conditions can't find it. So we have to balance those two things.
And Tom, when it comes to testing, the FDA has given emergency approval to a test that it can be given the results in 45 minutes. Could that be a game changer for this whole thing?
It's not only a game changer, Michael, but it's going to be necessary. You see, we moved past the need for testing for individual healthcare purposes, but for the larger public health objective of reopening our economy, we're going to need tests at a capacity we haven't seen yet so that we can avoid this uninformed premature reentry into society and the reinfection of our neighbors.
All right, Tom Bossert, Dr. Jennifer Ashton, thank you both for your time. Robin?
And Michael, so many people, as you know, around the world finding creative ways to stay connected and even collaborate while social distancing. Take a look at this group of musicians showing us what the world needs now. So beautiful. Shelby Rassler of Boston Conservatory at Berkeley, and more than 70 other musicians bringing us a little joy. She said she was on her flight home from college and said, what can we do? What can we do? She came up with this great idea.
And it was a beautiful idea. Great to hear that. We have a lot more coming up, including Senator Amy Klobuchar. She's going to join us live after revealing that her husband has coronavirus. We're going to see how he's doing this morning.
Also this morning, how South Korea is managing to flatten the curve. But right now, let's go to Ginger, who's going to join us from her home. Good morning, Ginger.
Hey, Robin, welcome to my basement. We are all safe and healthy, but we had close contact, so we're staying home for everyone to protect everyone. But let's go ahead and dive right in, because you're going to have to protect yourself in areas like Nashville today, Tupelo, Mississippi, just north of Birmingham. So Huntsville, you're included in damaging wind. This is through the afternoon as that low passes by, even into far northwestern Georgia. Your local weather's coming up in 30 seconds. First, though, we have the Tuesday Trivia, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
And here we have another burst pipe in Denmark. If you look close...
Jamie, are there any interesting photos from your trip?
Ouch. Okay. Boring. Boring. You don't need to see that. Oh, here we go. Can you believe my client Stieg had never heard of a home and auto bundle or the renter's good bundle?
Wait, you're a lawyer?
Only licensed in Stockholm.
What is happening?
Anyway, game show, kumite, Cinderella story.
You know karate?
No, Alan. I practice Muay Thai. Completely different skill set.
Love while social distancing are turning to dating apps. Bumble says they're seeing a 13% increase among users ages 18 to 24, and video call chats are up 21%. People trying to find love during the pandemic. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Please listen. This is important. Anyone can be affected by the prescription opioid crisis. If you think you've been hurt by Purdue or its prescription opioids like OxyContin, you may be entitled to compensation as part of Purdue.
Hepatitis C gone.
I put off treating mine.
Epclusa treats all main types of chronic Hep C. Whatever your type, Epclusa could be your kind of cure.
I just found out